All set?
Yeah, but you are going to take it easy, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll take it easy.
Hey there, race fans. I'm your man, Todd Brown of That Racing Show. Thanks for dropping by for another segment of That Racing Show's Pit Stop. How the hell are you out there this week? You having a good time, having fun? Well, I sure hope so, because that's what this episode is all about. Fun and good times with some NASCAR drivers, some things that I get to do with them behind the scenes that I want to share with you, and hopefully you find entertaining, and we have some fun with it. So I'm first going to start out with showing you a little bit of this. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that. Afterwards, we're going to talk about it, discuss again some of the behind the scenes and things that go into it, share a little piece of the life that I live in the entertainment business with NASCAR, and hopefully you find it enjoyable. Now, first off, I just want to start out by saying I got some messages and comments yesterday about the Bubba Wallace episode, and people were asking me why I was defending Bubba. Now, first off, I just want to say, if you actually watch the episode, I do not defend Bubba Wallace in any way throughout the whole episode. In fact, I say that I think he needs to be penalized. I think he needs to be set out for a little bit. I think there needs to be some evaluations to go into the whole process. And I think there needs to be groundwork laid out moving forward to make sure this never happens again. Now, my whole focus yesterday really was supposed to be about the mental aspect of what these drivers go through and the positions that they're in and the impacts that they take that could be affecting their brain function, their anger issues, and things of that nature. It was a perfect point to bring it out because Bubba had brought out before about battling depression and different things of that. And I just thought it was a good point to bring it to the forefront, that especially with everything that Junior's brought out about concussions and injuries and things that happen. Because let's face it, CTE is a real disease of the brain. And if you take a look at this, you can see how it's attributed to sports in most aspects. Usually people kind of keep it to boxing and football and things of that nature. But when you face the facts, drivers take hard hits, their brain moves inside of their skull, and there's things that do happen that over a repeated period of time could be affecting judgment, decisions, anger, mood swings, things of that nature. I myself have been through closed head injuries and can tell you it does affect every aspect of your life, and it's stuff that I think NASCAR needs to address a little bit more and focus on, because people putting themselves in danger as well as everybody else on the racetrack intentionally at speeds like this, it's something that's just not normal for the average person. And sure, people said, hey, everybody gets depressed, everybody goes through this. That is completely correct. But the difference is we're not going 200 miles an hour around other people, putting them in danger. So I think that needs to be a focus. And that was my whole point of the episode. Never meant to mislead or go astray in any other way. It's about driver safety and driver's health, because that's something that's a major concern to me and always will be. Now, let's move forward with the fun. First off, I want to show you this little cool piece that was in 2016. This is complete behind the scenes of the commercial that we did for the Chase. I believe it was the first commercial that came out for the Chase in 2016. We were chasing Kyle Busch on foot, and let's just take a look at it and we'll talk about it afterwards. Now, let me give you a little backstory on this, so maybe it'll make a little bit more sense as we move forward with everything. As I've said before, I myself have been involved in racing all my life. I was born into a racing family. I was a driver myself, and I've been in the entertainment business for a long time. Over a decade ago, I got into acting full-time, which is my full-time profession. And my talent agency is a triple threat on the East Coast, meaning that there's the actors division, a stunt division, and because of where we're located and everything else, got a pit crew division. So I've been able and been very fortunate to do commercials for several years as a stunt driver, stunt double, pit crew, and of course as an actor in other television and films and things of that nature. But one of the coolest things I get to do is I get to be the drivers at different times. And in this piece right here, I was Martin Truex's, you can say stunt double in so many ways, body double, because at the end of the day, I ended up with two fractured toes from all the running in the racing shoes, which I never advised to do, but unfortunately I had to do it that day, but it was still fun. But to give you a little story about this thing, we shot this in Charlotte, North Carolina in August, and it was close to 100 degrees that day. And the set design had great ideas about bringing in dumpsters from outside, full big ass dumpsters that were empty of trash but still smelled like trash. So the whole set was a fine mess of stink all day long. And it was set up to be like we were chasing Kyle through the city streets and alleys and things like that. And somebody else had a great idea of putting mop and glow on the concrete floor to make it look like puddles and catch the lights and everything else as we were running, which actually just turned into a huge slip and slide, which is what you see happening right here in this video. It just turned into a big mess because as soon as you tried to make a move and turn with your feet, bam, it looked like Daytona this year going into the playoffs. But all in all, it was a fun day. It was a very long day. I think we spent 11 hours actually shooting, and different people got hurt on it. It was one of those things that people got a little rambunctious and over anxious with it. If you pay attention, you can see that here at the end, you see the Martin Truex legs walking by, because myself and Tony Stewart's body double, who's been body double for Tony Stewart pretty much all through the later part of his career, we're the two older guys in this group. And so we kind of stayed back because we knew what was going to happen and tried to make ourselves not get injured. Unfortunately, Scott, who was Tony's body double, he ended up breaking some ribs. Oh, actually, it wasn't funny, but we laughed about it later. But he ended up breaking some ribs on this shoot. And there was, I think, 3 people that ended up in the emergency room by the time it was done. So it was entertaining. It was fun. It was kind of crazy. But the cool thing was Kyle was there right after he come back from breaking his leg. And that dude got out there and ran with us and did everything that, we were doing. And he was a very cool guy, sweating his ass off with us. And it was just a cool day on set. I've got to work with Kyle on other things. And he's honestly always been really cool on set and been fun to be around. And this day was no different other than some people getting injured and some craziness that went on with it. But by the end of the day, fun day, and a lot of memories that all of y'all got to see on television. Now, the other cool thing I want to talk about right here is this episode, or this video right here, that we shot for the Hendrick ride-along. I think this was in 2015. So take a look at it, and we'll talk about it.
All set?
Yeah, but you are going to take it easy, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll take it easy. That's pretty cool. New track record. Let's go to Victory Lane and get some pictures.
I think I need to change my suit first.
Serious?
Now, on this shoot here, this was something that a friend of mine, good friend of mine, who I've co-wrote some things with and done other film work with, was hired to shoot this commercial for Ray Everham and Hendrick Ride-Along Sweepstakes. Now, this particular car was built by Hendrick Motorsports for Rick Hendrick. Something was a personal play toy to him to go out and have some fun with, share some rides with his friends and things like that. Because if you remember right, Rick himself did some racing back in the day, and he still got that love for speed. So he had this car built, which was actually a former Jimmy Johnson car, if I believe correctly. That this was a full racing machine from head to toe. And man, let me tell you, it was a very powerful machine. Now, on this day, we started out the day doing some just crazy shots, different things, as you can see right here, just aspects to add to the commercial. And then me and Ray went out in the car and did, I'm going to say, probably about 4, 6, 7, 8 lap runs to get all the video from the outside of the car, which had GoPros attached. So just footage that they could add into it and everything else. And we had a good morning doing all that. Now at lunchtime, Kasey showed up, and Kasey he's a quiet but wild man in that race car. We we got out there, and as you can see this part right here, we were supposed to start out this shot right here with just doing the burnout and everything else. And Kasey just kept it to the floor and took off and hit the track. And I think we made about 6 or 7 laps on the first get-go right here. And I personally was not expecting that yet. Running 140 around that racetrack was probably what we were at with the outside views. And I'm just going to tell you, running around 140, 130, 40 miles an hour at Charlotte. Doesn't feel much different than driving down the interstate. It's just a big, vast racetrack, and I just don't kind of feel much different. Now, when you get to the speeds up there, in the 180 range, things like that, takes a totally different feel. One, that my mental capacity wasn't there, speaking of mental capacities, because I wasn't thinking we were going to be doing that quickly. And I'm going to tell you, it takes you a minute for your brain and your body to adjust if you're not used to going that speeds and taking the G-forces that were happening. Because basically, your eyeballs, it takes a while for your brain to capture the images of what's going on because everything is moving so fast. And everything basically inside of your body is trying to escape out the right side of the car in the turns, especially going into turn 1. That is just a G-force momentum feeler that I can't explain to you unless you've done it. And man, I'll encourage any fan, if you get a chance to go out and ride with any kind of driver that is at cup level or been at cup level, do it. It's an adventure. It's fun. And it's just it's a crazy good time. Now, we'd started out again, just doing some little things early. But with Kasey was full bore. And we did, I don't know how many runs after that, doing different things. And my job was to make facial expressions and do animated stuff to try to attract people to enter the sweepstakes and get the sensation of what it's like running in one of these cars and everything else. I was personally having so much fun after a few laps, because I'm not going to lie, the first few laps, I was sitting there thinking, damn it, I hope I don't throw up in the middle of this car. But after a few laps, everything adjusted for me. It's been a while since I had been in any kind of racing position like that, so it took a little bit, but it all came back and felt good, and I was having a good time. Kind of forgot what I was doing because I was having such a good time, so we had to continuously keep doing some runs. And by the end of the day, this car had a lot of laps on it, and we had one set of tires for this car, and it was starting to get a little bit loose. And when you're sitting on the right-hand side against the wall, coming out of 4 in that car at them speeds, you kind of realize, holy hell, this could be bad. But thankfully it wasn't. But on the last exit of turn 4, car did get loose. And when we got out, Kasey called me, asked me, he said, did you feel that? We broke loose there coming out of 4. As soon as I pulled my ass out of my eyeballs, I was able to comment to him and tell him, yes, I did feel that, by the way. And but at the end of the day, it was a very fun day. It was a very cool adventure and something that I love to do. And if you like hearing stories like this, if you want to know more about some things like this, leave me some comments to hey, have me include some more things that I do in the future with racing and everything else, because it is an adventure. It is fun. And like I say, I just want to share some of the things that these guys go on and do behind the scenes, because they live busy weeks. Unfortunately, the racing commercial business is not what it used to be. It's the whole thing with sponsorship issues and everything else. And that's more of the reasons why I talk about safety and things like that, because I want everything to be safe with these guys and the sponsors to be attracted to the sport again. And, the racing commercials and things to pick back up. Because if you think about it, you really don't see that many drivers doing commercials for sponsors anymore. And that, in return, affects my livelihood and everything that I do. And so, I just want to see the sport grow. And, the fans to come back to the stands. Everybody just get back to a fun racing time. And I want to share different things with you. So, again, I hope you enjoy this. And like I say, you want to see more about this or hear more about these things, because I've done them with numerous drivers, Danica Patrick, Carl Edwards. The list goes on. So I can share more stories with you and show more behind the scenes and things if you're interested. If not, hey, that's cool too. I just wanted to have a good time with you today. So anyways, I hope you have a great day, and I hope everybody has a great week. And as always, we'll see you at the checkered flag.